Back again with our friends at Elder Advisors, and joining us for this segment is Tracy Thomas, the owner of Sovereign Seniors. Welcome to the show, Tracy.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. Quick, if you don't mind, give us a little overview about what Sovereign Seniors does as far as it pertains to, you know, working with the Elder Advisors team and helping them with, you know, protecting everyone's assets that they work with.
Yeah, so Sovereign Seniors is an insurance agency. Unlike a lot of other insurance agencies, though, that deal with multiple types of insurance, Sovereign Seniors only deals with the Medicare space. So all of my clients are either approaching age 65 or going on Medicare, or they are already on Medicare. So we actually work wonderfully with Elder Advisors from the aspect that that is often the age group that they're dealing with as well. And some of the services that they provide just automatically link right into the insurance component, which is all we do.
And I think it's so, everything that we do, right, is nuance. So like Larry says all the time, know one thing and do it well. And this Medicare and the Medicare supplements and Medicare Advantage plans, that's just not something we're familiar with, that we know, but through our networking and working really hard to stay up to date on everything that's happening in our community for the clients, for the demographic that we serve, we of course met Tracy, and it's just so important. And it's one of those things that, you know, she can help a lot of people. I'll let her talk about it, but a lot of the folks that are coming and doing like pre-planning with us, you know, they're at that age where they're kind of approaching 65, and a lot of the folks that are doing crisis planning with us, it's time for them to take another look at their Medicare, because it's their health insurance, right? It's health insurance, essentially, is what it is.
And fundamentally, when I was meeting with families in a crisis plan or a pre-crisis plan where they came in, we're looking at the finances. This is before Lindsay came on board, and we pretty much did all that we could do. And then I would tell the family, I think you're as good as you can be, but if mom falls, she goes in the hospital, I need to be the first non-family member you call. Well, now that Lindsay's on board, she can help bridge that gap, being a personal care coordinator and advocating for families and finding resources that before they weren't aware of. And now that's the same thing that Tracy brings, because I can't tell you how many times people have asked me about Medicare, and I'm like, does that start with a P? Or I don't even know anything about Medicare. Now I can refer that to Tracy, because fundamentally I want the client help, whether it's accounting issues, tax issues, legal issues, real estate issues, Medicare, personal care. So that's why we continue to resource out to be able to help the client, so they're not so disjointed with everything.
Medicare is not going to be a very straightforward process for a lot of people. It's just kind of cooked into the way we live. Like, you're not, unless you're a professional in the industry, it's not like everyone's going to be applying for Medicare 50 times over the course of their life. I would love to hear more about the nuances, like we just talked about through Lindsay and Larry, that you see on a daily basis that makes it absolutely vital that somebody contact a professional when it comes to this process.
No, well, most people actually start with the thinking that you just mentioned, which is, oh, you know, I'm going to turn 65, I'm going to go on Medicare, it's going to be great. But then they start to look into it, which is why I brought this book.
Good for you.
It's a good read.
It's actually, this is Medicare and You that comes out with it every year, and it is, it's produced by the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services. This is the kind of the Bible when it comes to the rules and the products and everything that someone needs to know. So they first think, oh, I'm going on Medicare, it's going to be great. Then they start looking into it, and it automatically gets a little scary and confusing. So people often wind up calling because they thought they could figure it out on their own, and they can't. And there are some loopholes and things to be careful of that you might not find as you're going through here that might apply to you.
Yeah, I'd love to hear some of the things that people, and this doesn't just apply to you, Tracy, in applying for Medicare, but what are the things in this whole process of protecting the things that you've worked so hard all your life to earn and save for your family? What are the processes, the parts of the process that are so commonly overlooked? And we can start with you, Larry, and work our way down, because I know this is so frequent.
That's good, yeah.
Well, I think really, since Tracy's here, I think there's a lot of belief that, well, once mom is on Medicaid, we don't need to have any health care or any kind of a supplement. And that could not be further from the truth. Could not be further from the truth, because that's one of the things that you are allowed to have, and we encourage people to have, because I believe even the state encourages you to have that. So that's one of the luxuries that they can have, is have a voice in their health care with their supplement. Is that right, ladies?
Yes, yeah, their health care coverage. Yeah.
And I think, too, when it comes particular to coverage, is that there's kind of this belief that, oh, I've got this, and then maybe 3, 4, 5 years down the road, I might want to change my coverage. I might want to change what I have. It would be awesome in a perfect world if we could do that, but it's not that easy.
Yeah.
This book will tell you there's rules and there's time frames. There's some times where you're guaranteed something and other times where you're not. And so pre-planning for that can make it a lot easier when you do want to make a change in your coverage.
And I think it's just about being focused on what's happening. I mean, in other phases of our lives, maybe when we're younger, we're raising family, or we're starting out our career, we've got a real plan and we're moving forward. I'm a type A, I know what's happening next. And your life is going through a major change, whether you're retiring or you're not retiring. Between that 60 and 70, there's so much life change. And here's just a great, for example. My mother turned 65 and she wasn't taking any prescription drugs, right? So I was like, I don't need a prescription drug plan. And I'm like, yeah, it sounds right to me. I don't know. Well, we called Tracy, we sit down, and it's like, if you don't take the plan at 65, you may not ever be able to get one. Well, that's mind-blowing. And so it's just so important for, as you're moving towards Medicare, these beautiful, beautiful benefits, that you make sure you're getting what you earned, what you deserve, and the same thing as you're moving through your estate plan and your finances and through the future. And it's just really kind of a full circle. And we talk about all this at the workshop. I mean, that's the main thing is, like, come out to the workshop so you can, like, kind of start to get a handle on what's happening.
Hit these workshops one more time. They start next Monday, April 3rd. Larry, if you don't mind, take us through the workshops.
Kentuckiana, let's go. Next Monday, April 3rd, 10 a.m. at the Hilton Garden Inn on Crittenden Drive, right off exit 132 by the Cracker Barrel for Kentucky. Tuesday morning, contrary to what Lindsay was saying.
That says Clarksville.
And it should say Corridon. It will when we're back on Wednesday and Friday this week.
We're going to Corridon, people. Corridon.
On Tuesday, April 4th. And then Friday, Nelson County, Bardstown at the Hampton Inn. I'll be having lunch at Mamie's. Love Nelson County. We'll be there on Friday.
Call 855-LARRY-55. Suzanne usually picks up, or freeworkshop.com. And it's just, we just need your name and get. Oh, I was like, what is that?
That's my website.
I was like, is that Mamie's? Is that where we're going?
I want to eat some.
That's a good-looking website there.
Website. They look so happy there.
Hey, don't we have the kiddos to bring out?
We do have the kiddos to bring out. Before we're going to get to the kiddos in 1 second, I do want to make sure Tracy gets a chance to plug the Sovereign Seniors, make sure people know who to call and how to contact you.
Yes, if you are 64 and a half, if you are on any version of disability, or if you're already in the Medicare space, call Sovereign Seniors at 502-215-0881. I would be happy to help you, and our services are always free.
Elder advisors, and we have a couple of ladies that are joining us now.
It's spring break.
It's spring break for the Southern Indians.
All the working moms out there.
Working mothers.
Riley and Ronnie, but this is true. This is a family-oriented company. Family still comes first, and they're not
It
only.
certainly is, Garrett. We love children.
We are able to make sure that your family is protected. They will be happy to help whether you can attend those workshops or not. Make sure that you visit elderadvisors.com. We have to toss to a national announcement that is coming up right now on NBC.